If you have one of the top-end Janomis and you sometimes don't have access to the decorative stitches on it, wondering why can't I do the decorative stitches I want to do on it, you're going to want to watch today's video because I'm going to explain that to you. Hi, I'm Kim Jamison Hurst of Chatterbox Quilts, and on some of the top-end Janome sewing machines, you have a choice of 3 different needle plates. There's the regular or zigzag needle plate that we're all very familiar with any machine you have that plate, right? There's also an HP needle plate that goes with 2 feet that are included with, well, this particular machine that I'm working with anyway, the Janome CM17. So there's an HP foot, and there's what's called the HP 2 foot that works with the AccuFeed Flex system on this machine. And then there is the, what have I missed? Oh yeah, the straight stitch needle plate, which is perfect for doing free motion quilting. Now, it's easy to take these on and off the machine. That's not what I want to show you today, but you'll kind of see it in action. But what I want to explain to you is that when you have these different needle plates and you have them installed on the machine is very clever. It knows what needle plate you have in there, and it's only going to give you access to stitches that will work with that needle plate. So in other words, on this machine and other top-end Janome machines, the needle plate rules, all right? So let's take a look and see what that means in real terms. So right now I have the HP needle plate installed on the machine. And when I look at my stitch options here, first off, it tells me I should have the HP foot installed, which you can see I don't. That's okay. I'm not going to do any stitching here, so that's okay, but it does suggest to you what foot you should have installed. So the HP foot should be installed, and it's only giving me a choice of 4 stitches. Now, why is that? Why don't I have some more options here? Well, it's because of the needle plate I have installed. So let's take this needle plate off and take a look at it. Okay, if you're not familiar with this plate here has, as you can see here, one little hole for your needle to go in and out of. So if I wanted to use a decorative stitch, let's say a zigzag, it's kind of one of our basic ones, right? We know that our zigzag stitch goes back and forth. Well, there's no way that that's going to work there, right? Because there's only one hole. So the machine is smart enough, it's saying, no, you can't use a zigzag stitch or any other decorative stitch. You can only use a straight stitch, and it gives me options for 4 different straight stitches, all right? Okay, what about this next plate? This has a few holes in it, right? But this is actually the straight stitch needle plate. Let's get that installed. And I get different messages, you know, telling me make sure you got the right feet installed and all that type of thing. But when I take this off of the machine's lockdown, when I switch out my needle plates, when I take it off, I'm getting, well, I have 5 stitches that are showing here. Let's see if there's any more on the next screen. I have a few more, but they are, again, all straight stitches. Okay, there are some options in there, but they're all straight stitches. It tells me I should have my A foot installed. By the way, I have the F foot, which is what I like to use for decorative stitches installed. See, I'm getting ready for decorative stitches, right? So I can't do that either. Why can't I do that either? This one has a few more holes in it. But again, it has 3 different holes. So depending on what stitch I'm going to be working with, my needle will move over to the right area, but it's still doing straight stitches because in between those little holes is metal, right? So again, a zigzag stitch, not going to work on this with this needle plate in. So the machine's saying, no, you're limited to straight stitches still. Okay, the last plate that I have that I'm going to put on here is what I call a regular plate or a zigzag plate. And you can see all that is open in there, okay? There's no metal in there at all. So let's put this guy in. And then let's take it off of being locked down here. And then I have options to all kinds of decorative stitches, okay? All the decorative stitches are available to me, as are all the straight stitches. And that's because the machine knows that I have this zigzag plate in. It knows it's got all that room to move around, to make stitches up to 9 millimeters in width. So we're all good now. It tells me I could have my A foot in. I could use that foot too, but I can also use this open, this F foot. It's not open, the F foot, because the F foot has this open space too. So, you know, you've got to have that room in your foot as well, right? So you don't want to break a needle. So that foot will work just as well as the A foot would as well. So if you're working with a top-end Janome machine and you're finding that you're not having the access to stitches you want to use, the first thing you want to do is check and see which needle plate is installed. If you've got the HP needle plate installed or the single stitch needle plate installed, you are not going to be able to do decorative stitches, and you don't want to do them because you're going to be, if you did try and do them, that needle would hit the metal needle plate. You're going to break the needle, maybe do some damage to your machine. So I like the fact that these machines are, as I always say, smarter than I am. They recognize the needle plate rules. So always, first thing to do if you're having issues, check the needle plate. And I bet you got the wrong one in. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And while I've talked today about the needle plates on the machine, especially on the Janome CM17, if you're wondering about some of the other features on this machine, don't worry, I've got you covered. Check out this video. That'll give you more information on the Janome CM17. For more helpful quilting information, be sure to go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.